All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start out without our chair, but we will get moving over to that in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and start out with a forward fold just to loosen up that back a little bit, maybe stretch out the hamstrings a bit. And on this one, unlike what you might hear us say in like a strength training class, for this, don't be afraid to bend your back a little bit. Just do whatever is comfortable. You can allow your arms to hang down. If you feel any pressure in that low back, then just don't go down all the way. You can just go down about halfway. Allow those shoulders to roll forward, still let those arms hang down. We are going to be focusing for most of our stretches today, going to be focusing on our spine. So that includes the neck all the way down to the low back. I'm going to go down one more time. Pull those knees back a bit, straight, lengthen out those hamstrings. Nice job. All right. So go ahead, come back up. And next we're going to do just a few spinal rotations. And whenever you do these, you can keep these just nice, slow, and controlled. A lot of times, if you are, stiff or tight at your desk, you might see people doing these really quickly. It's almost try to pop their back. But for our purposes today, we want to protect that spine, keep that core braced. We are going to be mobilizing that mid back, but keeping that lower back stable. Good job. All right. From here, we are going to go into a wide stance. And now from our wide stance, I'm going to start out by going down to my left side, but go ahead, bend down towards that left foot. I'm touching my toe with my left hand. And then I'm just going to take that right arm and I'm going to rotate and extend that right arm up towards the ceiling and then right back down. Great stretch. We've got that wide stance to allow us to get into position. You might be feeling a little bit of a stretch in the inner thighs. And then we're also going to mobilize that spine a little bit more. Great thing to do, especially if you're just stiff from sitting in a chair for a few hours. Easy thing to do. Just stand up, get a few of these rotations in. So I've switched over to the right side now. I'm rotating, extending that left arm up towards the ceiling, keeping it nice and controlled. All right. Go ahead and come on back up from that. All right, so moving forward, you can do this seated or standing, this next movement. We're going to focus on stretching out the neck a little bit. So what you're going to do for this, we're going to start out by just a side-to-side stretch. So we're going to go ahead and allow our head to fall to our right side. Think about pulling your right ear in towards your right shoulder. And then if you're getting a significant stretch from this, then you can just hold that there, let gravity do all of the work. If you want to go a little bit deeper into the stretch, you can take that arm and just slightly pull your head down a little bit further. Always want to be careful with how far you're stretching that neck, just because some of those muscles, obviously we all know they can be sort of finicky sometimes, so we don't want to pull anything, cause any discomfort. Let's go ahead and do the same thing to the left. So you can allow your head to fall to the left side. Think about taking that ear and pulling it in towards your left shoulder. Take that hand, just slightly add a little bit of pressure if you need to get a little extra stretch on there. Hold that for just a few more seconds. This is really stretching out the side of our neck, even down into our traps and into our shoulders a little bit. Next up, I want to focus on the actual spine, the upper back into our neck. And so what we're going to do for this are chin tucks. These feel really weird if you haven't done them before, but they are so great for posture. They're so great if you have a stiff neck or if your head naturally falls forward just because of all of that screen time. And so what we're going to do is we're literally just going to take maybe 2 fingers, place on the chin, just to give you some feedback as you go into a chin tuck. And then we are going to pull our head back. So we're not going to tuck our chin down, but we're going to tuck our chin in. And so from there, we're activating some muscles on our cervical spine, on the back of our neck, that's helping pull our neck into place, kind of help fixing any stiffness or tightness that comes from that forward head tilt that we're in a lot of the times. And so this is another thing that you can do very easily on your own. It does feel a little weird at first, but as you get the hang of it, with pulling that chin back, then it'll get easier over time. So get just a couple more repetitions of that. Nice job. All right. Next up, we are going to move down to the low back just a little bit. So we're going to go into a seated figure 4 stretch. So for this, I'm sitting up straight. I'm going to cross my left leg over my right. And then from here, I'm going to keep my back fairly straight and think about hinging forward at the hips. The further forward that you hinge, the more of a stretch that you're going to get in your glutes and the back of your thighs. And this, even though technically it is considered a hip stretch, it is a great way to relieve some tension in your lower back. So, great, easy thing to do. If you're sitting at your desk, cross one leg over another, lean forward. All right, let's go ahead, do the same thing, other side. I'm going to cross my right over my left, and then fairly straight back. That way I am getting that pull, not just bending forward with my back. So back fairly straight, try to hinge at the hips. Further forward you hinge, the more of a pull you're going to get. And we're just going to spend a few seconds on each of these because we've got other stretches to do, but you're stretching out some pretty big muscles, those glutes. And so you can really hold this for 60, 90, 120 seconds and really lengthen out those muscles on your own time. All right. Next up, we are going to do another seated stretch. And you can start out by sitting up upright. And now from here, we are going to basically go into a seated version of a cat-cow stretch. But what we're going to do from here, extend those arms out in front. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, round your mid-back, tuck your chin in, and press your shoulders forward. As you inhale, come back up, pack the shoulders, pull those shoulders as far back as you can. So just kind of naturally follow your breathing. And do a few more repetitions of these. Great way to mobilize that mid-back. As you come up, really try to pull those shoulders back. It's going to really help get us in that correct posture. Nice job. All right. And one final stretch for you guys today. Go ahead, start with your upright seated position. And now I'm going to cross one leg over the other again. Now with this one, you can tuck this in tight. You can have a bend in your leg. What we're going to do is I'm going to take my right arm, grab on to my left leg, and then just kind of use that left leg as leverage as I twist to the left. And now we're not going to hold this very long. You can hold for a few seconds. You can also do some slow controlled repetitions. Nice job. Let's do right over left. Left arm goes to right knee, and then we are going to use that as leverage as we twist to the right. Now, I would recommend being pretty gentle with this. You are kind of forcing yourself into that rotation. And so we don't want to twist so much that you are, becoming uncomfortable. Don't want to pull anything at all. Just mobilizing and stretching a little bit. Nice job. All right, guys, that is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me for today's desk stretch. I will say, if you want to spend a little bit more time mobilizing, stretching out, we do have a mobility class. It's going to be here in about an hour, so feel free to join me on that. But besides that, hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.